Dear brothers and sisters in Christ, I think this gospel message today is one of the most profound that we have in all of the scriptures, at least from my standpoint. Because it reminds us that all of us are on a journey. We're on a quest. And we do that for our entire lives. And what are we questing for? What's this journey for? I think it's about two things. It's this and this. It's what makes us alive, what makes us these questing human individuals. It's our minds. Our minds are always asking, as we are on this journey, what is truth? What is of value? What is of meaning? Why am I here? What am I searching for? Why is this always asking for questions to be resolved? What is truth? And the other aspect, as I indicated, was our hearts. We're here because our hearts are always searching to love and to be loved in return. Without discrimination, all of us are in that situation, no matter who we are. We spend our time searching for love, how to love and to be loved. And we spend our entire lives, the poor young man, he was still a young man, and he was looking for what is important for him in life, and he couldn't quite get to make the final decision to realize that he hadn't arrived at his quest yet. And so all of us, as we are on this quest for truth and for love, on the way we have different excuses. We are sometimes preoccupied with different things, and even in this difficult first reading from the prophet Ezekiel, he's always asking, what's your idol? What's the thing that is deterring you from truth and from love? What pulls you away? What distracts you? What is the thing that pulls you off the road? Because the ultimate questions still remain to be answered. And it takes a long while. And it takes a life that sometimes has many digressions, many failures, many diversions in that search for truth. But what is truth? What is it that will ultimately satisfy my mind in such a way, not in the sense that I can say, I know everything, because that too, that's a major diversion for some of us who think we have everything. But it's still asking ourselves, what is it that ultimately satisfies? What is that truth? And it's the same thing about love, and even more profoundly, because as I mentioned, it's always that quest for something that will fulfill us and complete us in a way that we can say, I found it. I know what love is all about. So we are continually on that quest, on that search. And I think there's never a time when we can say that we have either of these, that we found them. We may find partial truth, and we may find love in a very deep way, and yet it's never unending, because it will one day end. And I think we are built that way. We're made that way, that this thing is asked, our mind is open, our hearts are always searching. And I think one of the diversions that we do have sometimes is that somehow we think that we can find this in ourselves. that is in the first person singular, that it's about me. Once I am fulfilled in my mind, or once I am fulfilled in my quest for love, I have found it. And that is a major diversion, a major mistake, because in this quest, it's never about me, first person singular for any one of us. It's always the other. It's always beyond ourselves. The quest never ends, really, because there's always another step. There's always more, and we continually move in that direction of truth and love. And I think we come that way to our final end. And somehow, I think we can honestly say, if we follow this direction, which is not easy, because there are so many diversions, so many what look like simple diversions. If I have the money, if I have the riches, if I have the wealth, or whatever. And that's not where it is, because there's always still more, as the gospel reading tells us today. And I think it's not until at the very end that somehow we can say, Lord, I searched for that truth as best as I could, and I realized that it's not found in me and what I have. It's beyond myself, even if I can't fully understand on the end what that truth finally is. And it's the same thing about love. I have tried to love purely, honestly. I've tried to recognize that love is not for me, but it's always extended outwards. And yet, it's never fully realized, because it's time to move on to another stage. And I don't have all my questions answered. And I think the best answer that we can give is, Lord, I've given it my best shot. In that quest for truth, I've always tried to find what is most truthful in my life, and I've tried to live that way. And it wasn't easy. And it's the same thing in terms of love, that I recognize that I am made to love and to be loved in return, and that I can never have it in its fulfillment, because when I think I have it, it like dribbles out of my fingers, out of my hand like sand. And yet I stand before you knowing that I've given it my best shot, and I know that there is, somehow I recognize that there is more, and I recognize and I do believe that that fulfillment, that fullness is in you, but it's beyond me. I stand here now before you, ready to be received by you, and to know that somehow my quest for truth and my search for love will be truly fulfilled.